Danielle. I'm the Human Resources Manager here at Get Sunnyside Consulting.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Good, thank you. How was your drive here today?
It was a little bit of traffic, but other than that, it wasn't too bad.
Weather wasn't too bad though, I hope?
Oh, no, it's beautiful outside. I can't complain.
That's awesome. So, any big plans for your weekend this week?
I'm going fishing with a buddy of mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pretty jealous.
Yeah, I've been enjoying this weather while it lasts, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so why don't you take a seat over here?
Okay.
And we'll just begin whenever you're comfortable. I'm going to begin with just some general account manager questions.
Okay.
So first off, can you tell me what makes a successful account manager?
I think a successful account manager is able to balance the clients and their demand at the same time as basically balancing the financials and balancing the clients, keep them happy while at the same time bringing the proper financial demands for the company.
Okay, thank you. And why is establishing a long-term relationship with clients so important?
It's very important because having a loyal clientele essentially gives back to the company and allows for the company to experience long-term and kind of consistent business in the way where that could also bring in more business for the company itself. The more loyal some customers are and clients, the more likely they are to recommend it to other people.
Okay. And can you tell me the importance of communication and organization for an account manager?
Well, there's a lot of scheduling, right? Like you want to be able to delegate the necessary tasks to your the people working below you, as well as you want to be able to kind of keep it straight and simple and relate it to the job versus being kind of like confusing in what you're asking them to do. And the organization is very important, like I mentioned before, about scheduling your time and making sure you have time to meet with your clients and meet with any other meetings you have with other people in your department.
Okay. And can you describe for me your sales cycle, so from the beginning to the end?
Could you clarify that a little bit?
So just like from opening up a portfolio with a client all the way to the end, how would your sales cycle go?
Oh, okay. So usually I'd start off with learning a little bit of the client, then meeting with the client, learning what the demands are, taking some time off and learning what I could possibly offer the client and potentially what I can kind of bend in their favor, kind of, so not being so rigid on the decision making for clients, as well as afterwards presenting them the ideal situations as well as alternatives, allowing them to choose, and then giving them a professional advice on what to do next.
Good. And can you tell me the importance of keeping up to date on market analysis and the consequences of not doing so?
Well, most importantly, the financial aspect of it, keeping up to the stock market and various other financial enigmas. That way you can kind of have a conceptualization of what's going to be expected from the next year to year and where to put your money towards in one way or another.
Very good. Okay, and my last one for this section would be, how would you rate the importance of researching and being knowledgeable about your competitors?
That's a good question. Well, it's important because essentially if your competitors are offering something better than what you offer, then they're more likely to go with someone else, right? So keeping up with what's being offered by other companies will essentially give you the edge in, keeping up with other companies and being able to compete per se, than just letting it be passive, then you're going to go under.
Very good, thank you. Next, I'm going to be asking you some behavioral and situational questions. So my first question, not all of our potential clients are open to hearing your sales pitch. So tell me about a time when you had a difficult customer who was potentially rude and how you handled it.
I had recently one when I was down in Florida. The customer thought I was very abrupt and in your face, and he swore at me a little bit. So basically I just tried calming him down as much as I could, and I just got to know him a little bit, distracted him a little bit with some different questions related to his cottage, and then from there I kind of worked around that to try to see what he wanted.
Okay, so when he made these rude statements to you, what kind of calm responses did you have?
Oh, well, I started off by just explaining to him the reason why I was there and my purpose and what I wanted to get out of him, and I just explained to him how I didn't want to cause him any grief or pain.
Okay. And in the end, were you successful at procuring them as a new client?
I was, yes, I was.
Yeah. Okay. And my next question. So say you have just been hired as an account manager, and it's your first week in the office. You've just made a new sales pitch, and one of your team members is contradicting this pitch. They don't agree with you. So this is a subordinate team member. How do you deal with their insubordinate?
I think I would first, when it first comes up, I would basically accept that they have a comment to make, and then afterwards I'd bring them to the side and ask them, hey, like, you can't be insubordinate in front of me because I'm the authoritative figure, and ask them not to do it again. And if they have problems, to be more not productive, but to be more assertive about it versus being very aggressive. So approaching me in a more appropriate way, but I would still consider what they have to say.
Very good. Okay, and my last one. So say you've just delivered a sales pitch to a new client, and you're taking any questions they might have. So the company admits that you are not maybe their first choice. So how do you steer them in your direction and convince them that your company is the best option?
I think I'd start off by researching what the other company has to offer first, seeing what's kind of making me the second choice. From there, I would tailor my offer and see what alternatives I can produce, what are the best options, and after that, what are the second best and third best. And then just seeing what the customer wants, what the client really wants from that relationship.
So would you have researched your potential clients before this meeting or after?
If I knew about them, yes, I would research them before.
That's very good, thank you. So that ends my questions for you today. Before we end, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you, Danielle, how long you've been with the company?
I've been here for 2 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I really love this job personally. Anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, well that's good. So we'll be in contact. Hopefully we'll be calling you by the end of the month to let you know how you've done.
All right, sounds great. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
It was great meeting you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.